I think the dynamic aim response curve type era of Call of Duty might be officially cooked. Black Ops 7 changed the rotational aim assist enough to where those curves feel like you're trying to drive with a flat tire. I think dynamic is the least forgiving, and it almost feels like you get the opposite effect of what you're supposed to be getting. And if you're still forcing dynamic, yeah, I think you're kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage right now. And we all know controller players actually have to aim in this game. That rotational aim assist isn't helping you bail out like it used to. And that aim assist window is way tighter. That's why I switched to linear. There is so much more to talk about in this video though than just switching to linear. And for me, it just reacts better. It doesn't feel like I'm dragging my crosshair underwater. Now, I'm not saying everybody needs to run it, but in Black Ops 7, I think this just works. Pro player and world champion Dashy said that standard is the new dynamic. Do what you want with that information. And look, I do have some extra sauce that has helped my aim a lot lately. Some behind the scenes tweets that I don't quite want to put on YouTube just yet. If you want that insider sauce that I don't really want to put out publicly, hit me with the follow on either TikTok, Twitter, or Threads. I'll have QR codes for you on the screen for a few seconds here and links down in the description. Now, one of the main things here is optimize your setup. You can't expect your aim to be consistent if your game is running like a toaster. Frames matter, stable visuals matter, so much more than you think. Now, what I don't want to do though is make this a full-blown settings video. That will be for another day, but just to name a few things that you should consider if you haven't already: dropping your graphics to minimum, close those random apps you forgot you had open, wallpaper engine, the hub, whatever the case is, turn off motion blur, both world and weapon motion blur. On the controller end of things, if you're constantly overshooting, lower your ADS sensitivity multiplier slightly. Tiny adjustments go a long way. Do that and you'll have more control over your rig and your controller. Now, this is something that gets glossed over way too often: centering. Most people don't actually have bad aim. They just have terrible centering. Your crosshair should live around the enemy head level, more or less. Or maybe chest, or even the torso area. That works just fine. Keep it in the spots that people actually appear from. And yeah, the wall bouncing folks can make that a little bit of a headache, but even those guys are easier to deal with if your centering isn't on the freaking ground. Trust. If your centering is solid, you can track those parkour gremlins just fine. Two tiny things that helped me is adjusting my crosshair color and my center dot size. You can find these in the settings under interface toward the bottom. It sounds super minor, but visually it angles your eyes and makes pre-aiming way easier. But when I'm saying pre-aiming, I'm not quite saying holding irons pre-aiming, because in this game, it is super important to learn how to play from the hip. What I mean by that is keeping your gun at your hip, not ADSing, but still being ready to up your gun and shoot it instantly. Quick shout out to Advanced Gamer Supplements though. I've been using this stuff during my longer Black Ops 7 sessions, both zombies and multiplayer, keeping me focused without having me feeling like I'm tweaking. This would be the second link down in the description, and use code NERVS10 for 10% off anything you want to cop off of the Advanced GG store. Now, I gotta expose myself right here, and I officially made this switch. After years of being a stubborn piece of shit, I finally turned off controller vibration. Yes, I used to say that you can go ahead and lower your controller vibration from 100 to 50 or 50 to 25. That was something that I absolutely did not want to let go. Let me tell you what made me want to go ahead and make that switch. Here in Chicago, we've been snowed in for the last couple of days. So I've kind of just been trapped in the house playing zombies and some multiplayer as well. But the thing with zombies is when you're sitting there with pack-a-punch guns, 60-round magazines, and you're shooting at 20+ zombies at a time, that vibration gets annoying, man. And that controller vibration with the combination of your hands getting kind of sweaty, that's gonna cause you to clench the controller like you're gripping some ass cheeks. So by the end of those long zombie sessions, my hands and forearms felt like I was doing freaking deadlifts for 2 hours. That is when I made the executive decision to turn off controller vibration. And then when I hopped back on over to multiplayer, it did make a big difference. And if there is a game that I had to go ahead and get rid of controller vibration, it's definitely this one. But every time the controller vibrates, you kind of clench harder. But at the end of the day, that let my hands relax and everything definitely smoothed out. When your hands aren't so tight, you inherently do have more control. And that made a world of a difference for your boy. Now, something else to consider is reset the fight before you take it and stop ego chowing. Yes, ego chowing is a big part of your aim. A lot of players run around corners like they're trying to beat a speed run. No crosshair discipline, no good centering, just pure ego. If you want to hit cleaner shots, reset before the fight. Recenter your aim, take a breath, then peek. Just because you see an enemy, that doesn't mean you have to shoot him instantly, especially if it's a fight you're not 100% sure you're gonna win. And when you start the gunfight already aimed at the right height, your accuracy shoots way up and you just have a leg up on your opponents, man. And another thing is here, train your left thumb. Now, yes, rotational aim assist has been nerfed, but that does not mean it is completely ineffective. It's still important to go ahead and try to use it. Because right now it does seem like your right thumb is kind of getting all the attention, but look at your left thumb as the momentum thumb, because that movement stability affects your aim more than people think. Black Ops 7 didn't turn into one of those games where you kind of have to plant your feet before you shoot. The main thing I like to use my left stick for is strafing. Moving back and forth, not only is it good for your aim, it makes you a lot harder to hit to the enemy. So practice strafing with a purpose though, not brainlessly. Your left and right sticks do still work very good together in Black Ops 7. Trust me. Now another thing is to dial in your dead zones the smart way. Don't just copy some random TikTok kid's dead zones. Everybody is different. It can be something as small as somebody having stubby thumbs or longer thumbs, a tall control freak, a medium control freak, or no control freak at all. All of these things matter. I know I might be annoying, but if you take your time and actually dial in the settings that work for you, you will thank yourself so much more instead of just copying and pasting somebody's settings that you saw on TikTok or YouTube. It might take you a couple of days, it might take you a couple of weeks. And think about it, the advanced settings aren't advanced settings just so you can copy somebody else's, man. So keep that in mind. And another thing is to warm up with static targets first. We do have the luxury of the shooting range in Black Ops 7, so I would say go ahead and start with those, then maybe set up some bots. For the sake of practicing though, I'm not saying you have to warm up before you go ahead and play pubs, but maybe you're trying to play 8s, maybe you're playing CMGs or something like that before rank touches down. But warming up does matter. But those static targets are where your micro corrections level up. That is where you will really know if you're overcorrecting or undercorrecting when your target is not moving. Take advantage of the firing range is not just to look at your favorite gun camos. Now, this one is the most painful, but the most effective. Record your gameplay and look at your misses. Whether it be Streamlabs, OBS, I do know both PlayStation and Xbox have systems to where you can capture your gameplay. You have no excuse. Now, I'm not talking about record your highlights. Obviously, we all want to do that, but go ahead and pay attention to how you're aiming in every single situation. Up close, medium range, long range. That will help your aiming so much more than damn near anything else on this list, in my opinion, because that's going to create self-awareness for you. You'll be able to see where that first bullet went, where your crosshair was it too high or too low, or did you hesitate? That kind of stuff matters. Once you identify your problem patterns, you will improve insanely fast. Trust me. So yes, Black Ops 7 might have nerfed aim assist a good bit, but it did not nerf skill. You can absolutely beam in this game if you tighten up your fundamentals and stop gripping your controller like it owes you money. If you want those secret sauce settings I mentioned earlier, follow me on TikTok, Twitter, or Threads, and shoot me a DM. That's where you can get the off-the-record stuff. Drop a like on the video and consider subscribing if you dug the video. I'll see you in the next one.